Hi, I'm Tallis Barker from waterfasting.org, and I'd like to talk about the difference between water fasts and juice fasts and what the pros and cons are of each. So to begin with, let's begin by defining both. The essence of a water fast is that you're ingesting 0 calories. And what this means, of course, is that you're going to be drinking water, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's exclusively water. So for instance, herbal teas can fit perfectly well into a water fast, especially if this is one for physical healing. Fasts which are designed to go deeper spiritually will often exclude this just to focus on the water. But herbal teas have no calories, so in terms of the physical effect on the body, they're perfectly acceptable as well. Juice fasts, on the other hand, obviously mean that you're going to be taking on board some kind of calories. And juice fasts, in that sense, breaks an old tradition in which the word fast really refers only to 0 calories. Traditionally, juice fasts would have been called juice diets because diets obviously involve calories. But just for the sake of ease right now, I'm going to refer to both as fasts. Juice fasts, in terms of what they consist of, there's a huge range. Could be fruit juices, could be vegetable juices, and into the whole general category of juice fast would also fit certain protocols which involve drinking soups. So for instance, a famous example of this would be the Buchinger fast. There's really a wide range of possibilities here. When it comes to water fasts, they have one huge advantage. They're stronger. And there are a couple of reasons for this. First, ketosis during a water fast is going to be stronger than during a juice fast. Ketosis, of course, is the metabolism by which we burn fat cells, and in doing so, we release the toxins which are locked into those fat cells. On top of this, the fact that you're not ingesting any calories at all means that your digestion can switch off much more fully. And in doing so, you release extra amount of energy which can go to healing. It's said that up to about 30% of our daily energy needs are absorbed simply through digesting our everyday food. If we're not digesting any food, that can all go to cleansing and healing. Now, when we compare this to juice fasts, especially when it's a question of fasting for illness, this means that you're going to pack a much more powerful punch. Even those protocols in which you're just taking on board 200 or 300 calories a day in a juice fast, for instance, returning to the Buchinger, that would be another example. Those 200 or 300 calories per day means that your digestion has to stay alive and awake, and that will take away from energy which could otherwise go to healing. The strength of a juice fast is important, but it will never come close to that of a water fast. And my own story kind of illustrates that. After doing my first water fast, I just never went back to juice fast because I could feel how much more I was getting out of the water fast. Now, the strength of a water fast, as much as it's its own advantage, is also its disadvantage in that it's simply too strong for certain people. Now, what I mean by this is that because the detox will cause fatigue, potentially nausea, headaches, many people find this is simply too uncomfortable. And as a result, they're likely to break off their fast compared to, let's say, a juice fast in which there are fewer detox symptoms. And on top of that, there's also the question of not only is a water fast more uncomfortable physically, but emotionally as well. There's no taste. And over days, as those days continue, just a lack of taste can really start to become a psychological issue. The fact that you're not taking on board any calories also means that you're lacking comfort from that. A nice warming vegetable soup can feel really nice when otherwise you're depriving yourself of your usual diet. So if you're not ready to go whole hog effectively and face detox symptoms at their fullest strength, then water fasts potentially lead to a big problem, and they just simply become impossible to carry through. Now, when it comes to juice fasts, the main advantage here is that physically you'll have more energy. And a lot of this depends on the particular type of juice fast that you're doing. If you're doing a fruit juice fast, for instance, a citrus fast, perhaps orange juice, you can be provided with almost as many calories as you would in everyday life. And those calories coming through simple sugars can just power you through the day on a big sugar high. I don't mean this in any derogatory fashion here. A juice fast like this is highly cleansing and healthy, but they're much easier to get through. Not only that, but emotionally they're easier. I've already mentioned with regard to the water fast, the fact that no taste, no calories can work against you. Well, obviously the opposite is true with a juice fast. You do have taste. You do have calories to provide comfort. On top of this, there's a very important factor which is worth considering. The fact that juice fasts are accepted by society and water fasts, by and large, still are not. And believe me, if you're doing a juice fast and someone finds out about it, they'll support you. You're doing something healthy. Whereas if the same occurs with a water fast, it's more likely that you're going to meet resistance. Why are you doing a water fast? It might cause your organs to shut down. There are so many misconceptions still around a water fast that you end up using quite a lot of energy just to calm people down and comfort them. Juice fasting can be a great introduction to water fasting, especially for those who find that 24 hours of water fasting is still too much. Definitely worth trying out a juice fast as some kind of a transition towards a water fast. Likewise, for those who have just simply too high of a toxic load, juice fasting can make a very good transition to reduce some of that toxic load before going into a stronger water fast. This all kind of brings up the relationship of water fasting to juice fasting, and actually one very interesting and helpful thing we can do is to combine water fasting with juice fasting. There are two basic ways to do this. One is to insert a short water fast into the context of a longer juice fast. So let's say you're doing a week of vegetable soups. Perhaps in the middle of that, you put a one-day water fast. It's sort of like you would reduce down your caloric intake over the first few days of a juice fast, reach that one day of a water fast, and then from there gradually build back some calories through a juice fast until you eventually return to your everyday diet. Another thing you can do is use a juice fast as an introduction to a water fast consecutively. So before moving on to, let's say you're going to do a 3-day water fast, you precede that with, let's say, 7 days of juice fasting. Doing so will help you to approach the water fast so you're more ready to go into the deeper cleansing of that water fast. Interestingly, you can also do the opposite. After a water fast, follow that with a juice fast. And in fact, after long extended water fasts, that's what you should be doing anyway through your refeeding program. After a water fast of anything more than 2-3 days, you don't want to just jump back into your everyday diet. You need a transition time. And it's precisely during this time that a juice fast can work very nicely. Fruits and vegetables are what you want after a water fast in any case. And of course, fruits and vegetables are precisely what a juice fast tends to consist of. So really, there are a lot of alternatives. And the important thing I would stress is just to experiment, see what works for you, and the sky's the limit, really.